Everybody, welcome back. We're going to try something new here. As you can look on the screen, hopefully it's over here. You're going to see the Boss eBand. Yes, I've upgraded now my software. It's 2020 and I'm finally upgrading my software. I had a long talk with Pixie Licks. I had a long talk with Robert Baker. I'm just joking. Anyways, I finally got a new editing software. So this is my first attempt at picture-in-picture or video-in-picture. So hopefully this works out really well. Alright, so today's video is going to be a special video because it's the first of its kind, for me anyway. So now you're going to see me play, noodle around, and also hopefully somewhere here, you're going to see the eBand and me making these settings and the changes live. I should have done this years ago, but I've always had a video Windows Movie Maker. That's like a default for your laptop. And I just haven't upgraded it, but I finally upgraded it. But I'm still learning, so I'll be using this technology. I'll be using this more in my videos so that I don't have to keep changing cameras and so forth. So it may take me a little bit longer to get a video up until I master this. But for you guys, it must be like ABC 1, 2, 3 easy. But this is my first video with this. So bear with me, and I hope you enjoy it. Alright, so today we're going to be covering, as you can look on the screen, these are all my tones, which you'll be getting very, very soon because now I got picture-in-picture. So I'll be happy to noodle around and to give you some tones. But today's video is going to be all about the elusive Brad Gillis guitar tone that he had back in 1982 with Ozzy Osbourne, Speak of the Devil. He had two tours, the Blizzard of Oz tour, where he replaced Randy Rhoads right after he died. Kicked ass on that video. And then, I don't know whether it was due to a record contract that Ozzy still had with Black Sabbath, maybe? I don't know. But he did a live album, double album, with Brad Gillis also, Rudy Sarzo, I think Tommy Aldridge, Speak of the Devil. And that was all Black Sabbath cover tunes. And Brad Gillis hit it out of the park. And the reason why I bought that album was because I saw on MTV the Blizzard of Oz, which was broadcasted everywhere. Brad Gillis replacing Randy Rhoads in that awesome guitar concert on MTV. Look it up. Ozzy Osbourne, Speak of the Devil, 1982 concert. It's on there. And Brad Gillis tore it up. And he had the best tone back then, I thought, in 1982 that I had ever heard. And I could never emulate it. To this day, I couldn't emulate it. Speak of the Devil album came out, the double live album, all Black Sabbath. He kicked butt, and that tone sounded even incredible in stereo. And I still can never get that tone. And but I finally got that tone with the help of Brad Gillis himself. I don't know if I saw it online or if it was on his Instagram page, but he gave his, as best as he can recollect, his recipe or settings for his tone back in 1982. Long story short, what I got out of it, that he used Mesa Boogie amplifiers, obviously, which is an incredible amp, and he used a delay pedal. I don't know what brand, but he had a delay effect where he moved the delay to in the modulations of the delay to get a slight flanger effect. That slight flanger effect gives you that subtle wah tone, which you'll hear in this video. You'll hear it as I dial it in, and you'll see it on the screen. But anyways, he used a delay pedal with, I believe, 10 milliseconds. 10 milliseconds of delay. I don't know how he did that or why he even used delay, but he was smart enough, or someone was smart enough, to use a delay pedal with 10 milliseconds, but then he activated a flanging tone in the modulations of that delay to get his tone, which he's been using ever since, at least all through Night Ranger, or the early part of Night Ranger, but all through the Ozzy and the Black Sabbath stuff. That's how he got his tone. So I did my best to emulate that wah tone with the Boss eBand JS-10. I'm telling you, if you haven't already, click the notification bell, click subscribe, as I do upload videos every single as I've been absent the past week. But I do upload videos every single day, 7 days a week. 365 days a year. You're like, Tony, what's on the screen? Yeah, these are If I haven't released them yet, they're either waiting to be uploaded because they're done, or it's work in progress. But I have a Motley Crue 83. Someone asked for me already, like maybe 6 months ago, for an early vintage Motley Crue, I think it was. And if you go on the first album, it has a very unique, distinct metal tone. The very first album, or at least Shot of the Devil album. That album. There was a first album that wasn't successful, but the second one, I think it was Shot of the Devil, 83, when they exploded. This is the tone from that one. And you tell me if it's close, ready to be uploaded, or it's work in progress. I already know where it stands, but there's a specific tone, flavor on Mick Mars, or that album, that I try to emulate as best I could, and see if you can pick it up right now. You hear it? No, I cannot play Motley Crue yet because I haven't even learned it. But I did back in the 80s, so give me a break. Give me a break! But I'm trying to go for the tone. You're all trying to where's the bright GILLIS? Okay. I have it on the screen because I'm going to scroll now to what I normally do. For me to get my tone, I always go to a comp tone, a clean comp tone, and then overwrite it. So these are the patches that you're going to go see me scroll through. If you see something that you want me to tell you if it's ready to upload, I'll upload it. Or what's the status on this tone, I'll give it to you. This is eBand number 3. Remember, I have 2 other ones. I've been playing with eBand number 3 now for the past 6 months. But I have my eBand number 1 with 100 tones, my eBand number 2 with another 100 tones, and the eBand number 3 does not have 100. I have maybe like 45 or 50 because I'm still overwriting other tones. But let's go ahead and go to a clean tone patch and give you the Speak of the Devil 1982 Brad Gillis guitar tone that you guys want. And now you get to see the screen, hopefully somewhere here, of the settings, right? Alright, so let me go ahead and scroll. These are tone patches, obviously, that I already have in the works or ready to be uploaded. So I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down until I get to my clean comp tone. And whenever I create a tone, I don't want to be influenced by any other tone or what's out there. So what I do is, again, I just grab the best audio files I can. I look at live concert footage, audio, YouTube, whatever I can get my hands on. And I just listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. And for me to be as accurate or as close as I can, this is just for me, I always want to start clean. I don't want to borrow. In other words, I wouldn't go to crunch like So I wouldn't go to crunch and then start editing crunch to get a new tone. I just would always go into a clean comp tone. So let me still get to that. So this is pretty much what the eBand has. It allows you to dial in up to 100 custom presets of your choice, and it also has like, I want to say 200 or 300, I forget, but it has like a ton of built-in presets already, and you can use those presets to go inside and make them better. So this pretty much gives you a flavor. All right, so as you can tell, here's number 2. U001 would be my first preset, you know. So now we're into the factory presets, and what I always do is I always go to right here. If you look over here, I'm in the bass. If you have a bass, you can plug it into the eBand, and these are all the effects that you can play with the bass. It's made specifically for the bass. Isn't that cool? You can put a microphone in there, and I think it's right there. See, now if you have a microphone, you can put a microphone in your eBand, and then these are all the effects that you can sing along with your microphone. So you can put your microphone in the eBand, and then you want to jam or sing along or record yourself. These are all the effects of your microphone. So that's pretty good right there. And these, the same thing, you can plug in a bass guitar, and then these will all be your effects to play bass. Now what I do, whenever I create a tone, I go right to the clean comp and the bass. Don't ask me why, but listen. And for me, it's just simple, clean, pure, no effects, no nothing, no reverb, no delay. So then I can just basically start from scratch. So whenever I create tones, or Tony, can you make me a tone? I always, by default, go to the clean comp, and then I start from scratch. And then I just start taking notes. Because I don't want to save every time. I could, but I'll mark stuff down, and then I'll start to save and jot down my notes. And then I'll either, with a pen, cross out this, tweak it. If it's good, I'll circle it. Circling means it's a keeper. These are just notes for myself. If I don't like it, I'll put an X and try something else until I get to my finished product, and then I'll lock it in. All right, so let's go ahead. I just want to give you a brief rundown. I feel I have more liberty now to discuss with you because you can see me, but you can also look at the screen, exactly how I would incorporate. So now hopefully from here on out, you don't have to fast forward the video to the very end to get my screenshots. You're going to see me dial them in. And no cheating because I'll also give you some bonus tweaks in here, right? So let's go ahead and begin. This is I call this tone Speak of the Devil. You can call it Brad Gillis 1982. It's from 1982. Call it OZZY 1980, whatever you want to call it, but call it whatever you want to. I named it, for me, on my eBand, Speak of the Devil. I had originally a Brad Gillis 1982 tone patch. That was my earlier video from several months ago. I told you it was work in progress. I didn't want to delete it, but I used that to build off of to make it better. So I created Speak of the Devil. I still have my original Brad Gillis 1982, which I'll probably either delete or modify and make something else. But I got my definitive Brad Gillis tone. I happen to call it Speak of the Devil. So call it whatever you like to, all right? So this is the tone. That was my last video. I keep looking over there because Pippi's over there. All right, so let's continue. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue, all right? So the amp, now you can see the screen, which I love. These are all my effects. There's not much being used, right? I'm using an amp, compressor, no overdrive distortion. I'm using a noise gate. I do have EQ. Oh no, my EQ, oh shoot, let me see. I wrote down off. Why do I have it off? I'll double check it. Okay, I wonder if I would look at something else. No, this should be fine. All right, yeah, we should be fine. Not trying to alarm you, but I wrote EQ off, but I'm seeing my eBand is on. So I'll do a test for you. But it's on the screen, so we'll get there. But, all right. Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm looking at a clean comp tone. So these are my effects for the clean comp tone. These are not the effects for my Speak of the Devil. So I was looking at my notes. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? All right. So the clean comp tone is this. don't need to worry about that because I'm sure you have a clean tone somewhere, right? So forget my little panic attack. This is the clean comp tone I'm going to overwrite. I was remembering how I used to do it. I would look at my settings already and give them to you. All right, so forget that. All right, so we're good. We're good. All right, these are my notes over here. I'm going to tweak them in the video. All right, let's go ahead. All right, and action. All right, so the amp I choose for the Brad Gillis tone is a high gain stack. That's what it's called for the Boss eBand effects. Real fast, I'm using the Boss JS-10, Boss eBand JS-10, which has the Boss eBand. Oh my God, I can't even think. This is the Boss eBand JS-10, which has the Boss GT100 effects processor built into it. All the effects that you're going to see on my eBand is what the Boss GT100, GT10, and maybe even the GT1000. But these are the effects, all the Boss effects that I have. If you don't have my parameters, don't be alarmed. Just whatever my knob positioning is, if it's at 50% and it just happens to be at 12 o'clock, you put yours in 12 o'clock. If mine says it's at 100 full blast, but yours only goes to 10, you would go full blast at 10. All right, so let's continue. So the amp that Boss calls high gain stack is modeled after a modified vintage Marshall. So whatever amp modeling you have, look for a modified vintage Marshall. Vintage Marshall modified, all right? So let's go ahead and go to the amps. In this case, these are all my amps, and I'm going to look for a high gain stack. These are all the amps that I have. There we go. Oh look, doesn't that sound like Kiss? Look. It does, listen. But see that would give me like, hey, wait a minute, that sounds like Kiss. I would go back to this and then make a Kiss tone. That's how I do it. All right. So the amp is a high gain stack. We're going to go with gain. Oh yeah, so what I learned from Brad Gillis was basically he used Mason Boogie amps. I had Mason Boogie, but I chose to get his tone using a modified vintage Marshall. You want to try Mason Boogie, by all means. When you're done with these settings, try different amps. You may get a better tone. All right. So these tones are free, but they're for you to make them better. All right. So the gain, I have it at 110. Now this tone is pretty simple because I don't have any EQ. So there's no EQ. That's going to be pretty much the gain on the amp, overdrive distortion pedal, chorus, delay, and reverb. That's how I get my Brad Gillis tone. And you can get it too. And you may even make it sound a lot better because you may have like a ton of amps to choose from. Friedman, what's the other one called? The one that Kristen Pelletier uses. Agnator, I don't know. But try different amps. After you lock this in, try different amps. You may get a better sound, all right? All right, let's continue. So high gain stack is a vintage modified Marshall amp. My gain is at 110. Excuse me. And my effect level is going to be at 62. Now remember, when I play with my effect level, this is because when I exit out, like right now, see that where it says L and R? See those bars? After all the effects are put in, those bars are going to go probably 2 more over to the right, and that's where I want it to stop. I never want to be full bore because the last section will be 2 circles. That means you're about to clip, blow out your speakers, or you're getting too loud. That is okay. But I can go up maybe 2 bars and be done. So my levels are set for a reason. And then when we're done with this tone, I'll tell you how you can play with your levels to make it louder or clearer, okay? So stick around. This is going to be a long video, but it's my first picture-in-picture, so enjoy it. Enjoy it, bitch. All right. So where are we at? Let's go back. Alright, so my effects for the amp are going to be, my bass is at 60, my middle is going to be at 80, the treble I have it at 90, and the presence I have this at 60. Again, if you don't have these numbers, look at the positioning. So 60 for presence would be what? 1 o'clock for you. That's how I do it, alright? Alright, what else do I have? Now, if you don't have this on your screen, don't worry about it. It won't affect your tone. It just happens to be on the list of my settings. I have T comp at 0, but it's on, alright? But when I exit, you see that my T comp for this tone is going to be off. So I have no compressor, alright? So see, I have no compressor, right? So your last effect was this, right? Even though that says on, see the bottom right, it says off. So my compressor, I have no compressor for this. Keep it off. All right, what do we have next? These are my Overdrive Distortion pedals, all right? Now I use, obviously this effect wasn't available back in 1982. So play with your distortion pedals. I'm using the Boss Metal Zone. Remember that pedal? It's black. I'm using the Boss Metal Zone distortion pedal. So let's look for that. And whenever you have close to a metal zone, use it. Just tweak it. These are all my distortion pedals. See, this one emulates the Rat pedal. That's the Boss DS1. That is the Ibanez Tube Screamer, and so on. Boss Overdrive. You know, so this is my MXR Distortion Plus right there. There's the MXR Distortion. But there's the Boss Metal Zone. Right, so see the bottom right? It's currently off, right? Look. All we have right now is the gain from the amp. This has a lot of sustain, and we'll get you there. Look. Now I'm going to start playing some notes so that you can start to hear the wah effect. And if you don't know what that means, look up Speak of the Devil 1982 tone, Early Night Ranger Brad Gillis. When he plays a solo, he just has that subtle, subtle wah effect without the wah pedal. And it's from his delay. I managed to get that as best I could without it. So. So I'm using a Boss Metal Zone. And what do we have here? My drive, I have it at 30. The bottom on the Metal Zone effect, I have it at plus 10. The tone, I have it at minus 10. And the effect level for this, I have it at 70. Again, if you don't have 70, look at the knob positioning. That's what, 2 o'clock, all right? Before and after, this is just with the high gain stack, vintage modified Marshall gain at 110, remember? All right. Let's put on the Boss Metal Zone distortion. Here we go. No wah effect yet, not even Brad Gillis yet. Oh, real fast, these are the Marzio Super Distortion humbuckers I'm using. It's my go-to pickup around most of my guitars. So the tone I'm getting is achieved through the Marzio Super Distortion pickups. So your results will vary based on your pickups. You may have really hot pickups or pickups that are more cleaner. So just remember that. All right, we're almost done. Alright, so that is my distortion pedal, the metal zone. See the screen? Alright, that's next. Now, because this is a very loud tone and crisp tone, my noise gate, I have it at 46. You want to put it at 50, you can put it at 50, but there it is. Almost getting that wah effect, almost, but we'll get there now. Alright, so most of you people don't have EQ, that's totally cool. I do not have any EQ. Alright, so let's go ahead to our screen. See the EQ? Let's turn it off. And there it is, no EQ. Hold on, baby. Nice sustain, listen. Now we're going to start getting the wah effect and the Brad Gillis tone you've all been waiting for. Alright, now I don't have modulation effect abilities on my delay. Repeat, I do not have modulation abilities to tweak on my delay. Some of you guys may have advanced delays or delay effects that have built-in modulations. So that's up to you if you want to go that route. If you go that route, then you want to get a flanger effect off your delay. I take a shortcut. That's why I got my tone as close as I could. I don't have modulations on my delay. So I did the next best thing, I grabbed the chorus pedal to get a flanger tone. Bro, telling you, why don't you just get a flanger tone? It was too flangerish. It sounded too much like Van Halen, Hear About It Later. And I don't want that. I don't even want to sound like a flanger. I wanted a little subtle wah effect. Almost like a Michael Schenker. When Michael Schenker plays lead, he has a very subtle open wah. That's what Brad Gillis had. That's why it stood out. Alright, so let's go to our chorus. See the screen? And the chorus, see, these are my modulations. Right now they're off, right? So for me to get that Brad Gillis flanger tone, I tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it. And this is my final product, alright? So I'm going to go to my highest stereo. See, ST2, ST1, mono. That's all I have, see? You may have a gazillion types of chorus, but I'm using stereo chorus. So go to your stereo chorus. That's what you want to use. Alright? The rate, this is where we're going to get the Brad Gillis tone. And we'll finish it off with the delay and reverb. Alright, so... Oh, the rate, I have it at 25. The depth, I have this at 68. Again, tweak it with yours. We have Axe Effects, 1, 2, 3, Fractal Audio, Line 6 Helix, Line 6 Pod. Whatever you have, this will work for you. Just play with it. It's going to sound different a little bit, but just tweak it and you'll make it sound really good. And if you can make it better, by all means make it better. Alright, so... The depth I have it at 68, and lastly for the chorus I have it at 44, the effect level. Now the effect level, you can come back to it and crank it up or go less. This was my final product, so that's going to be up to your ear, alright? So here it is without the chorus. I'll play a little bit of noodling around. Alright, let's turn on the Brad Gillis chorus to get the flanger effect. Hear that? Listen. got the Brad Gillis chorus flanger wah, that's what I call it. Remember, that is just the overdrive, that's the distortion pedal and the amp. But see, this chorus sounds like a flanger now. Let's put on the chorus. Now what I found fascinating was he has delay at 10 milliseconds. I'm like, why would you even have delay at 10 milliseconds? But there's a secret to having your delay at 10 milliseconds, which I never knew, because I always have it at 400, 470, 370. I always have my delay at 350 to close to 500 milliseconds. So when I learned that Brad Gillis had 10 milliseconds of delay, but remember, he had a modulation to get that flanger effect, which I have now. So I already got his flanger effect with no delay. Now, if you want to jam with this, look up Speak of the Devil, Ozzy Osbourne. And I believe it's tuned to E flat. I think it is. Jam along with it with this tone, it sounds perfect. I believe he had two guitars, the Les Paul, which was I think tuned down a half step, and then his red Fender Stratocaster, which was at normal standard tuning, or vice versa. But you had two guitars to play the half step, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so there is the flanger effect with the chorus pedal, because I don't have the modulation on the delay. So now I can use the delay to get to 10 milliseconds. So let's go to the delay. See, on my bottom right, it says off. See, that is my default delay time, 400 milliseconds. It just is, I play with it. But for Brad Gillis, he went to 10. 1, 0, 10. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm like, why even use it? That's what I was thinking. Why even have delay? But when I did my settings, remember, these are my settings to get his settings. So I didn't know what he used or what he did. But once I heard 10 milliseconds, I could play with the rest to get his tone. So, alright, lastly, the feedback, I have it at 0. And then the high cut, I have it at flat. And then the effect level for this, guess what? For me to get the Brad Gillis delay, I put the effect level all the way at 120. You're like, what? Yeah, check this out. Now, mine goes up to 120. So whatever effect level your delay goes to, that's what you want to do. And why, Tony? Because here we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and play a couple of chords and a couple of licks. And you're going to hear the delay boost the flanger effect. Alright? Alright? So the delay is going to boost the flanger effect. Then the reverb is going to put it all together. Alright, so here we go. Without the delay. Let's put on the Brad Gillis 10 milliseconds delay. Already, you hear that? See? The effect level for the delay gave it the boost. So listen. No delay. The Brad Gillis delay at 120 or all the way for you. without the Brad Gillis delay. Put it back on. Now you hear the wah effect. That is from the delay. So the trick on the delay is 10 milliseconds, but your feedback is all the way up. And look, where are the repeats? Listen. There isn't any. Listen. That's why I thought, how odd. Listen. There's no repeats, but the delay is on there for sustain. So you can have it at 10 milliseconds, but have the effect level all the way up, and you'll have sustain. No, is this a Randy tone? No, this is all Brad Gillis. So this is Brad Gillis playing Randy, playing Ozzy, playing Night Ranger, playing Black Sabbath. This is the quintessential Brad Gillis tone. So you can play with it. Alright, one last one to make it sound massive. We're going to go to the reverb. Now real fast, I always make this caveat. The Boss eBand, see these are my reverb types. Like ambient, room, hall, and plate. That's it. I'm not complaining, but it cannot compete with what's out there. All the other effects processors, the true effect processors, that have like 15, 30, 45, 50 types of reverb. So you may have an awesome reverb selection to choose from that will sound better than what I'm using. By all means, tweak it, alright? Nothing set in stone. For me, this tone is set in stone based on what I had. So out of all the reverbs that I could use, what sounded best for me for this tone was to use a room reverb. But if you have something better, by all means go for it. Alright? So now we're going to make this tone complete, massive, and total Brad Gillis. And this is my tone that I'm sharing with you. Alright? Reverb time, I have it at 3.3. I hope you like this new video. Let me know what you think. Obviously I'll make the other video shorter, but because now I can talk and not worry about panning back and forth and back and forth. You can see me tweaking in real time. All right, Pippi's starting to stretch. Right, hold on, Pippi, hold on. Maybe she'll make an appearance. Hold on. All right, so reverb time at 3.3. My high cut, I have it at 2.00. And my effect level for this, I have it at 64. This is my reverb for the Brad Gillis tone. Now we're going to do before and after, and then we're done. I'll just noodle around, have some fun. All right. So here it is, without the Brad Gillis reverb. Let's put on the Brad Gillis reverb. Here we go. You hear it? I'll show you what is that. 1982 Brad Gillis guitar solo is what he did with Ozzy Osbourne. It sounded awesome. second major tone. There it is. That is my Brad Gillis, or Speak of the Devil guitar tone, or Brad Gillis 1982 guitar tone, whatever you want to call it. Call it whatever you like to. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. Any requests, leave them below. Thanks so much for watching this entire video. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but I thought I would get a pass because of my absence. And now you can see me play and tweak the settings in real time. And that's what I wanted to share with you. So, because this is the Headbangers Hideout, where we can just talk and chat and play. I used to love his solo for Paranoid, 1982. It was awesome. That's it. Obviously, if you have a vibrato bar, you can do Brad Gillis. Alright, so that's it. Thanks so much for joining me in the Headbangers Hideout. I'm Tony, and real quick, we're having a heat wave in California. I've been working a lot. No excuse, but I will crank out the videos as soon as I can. We'll go back to daily. I just have a lot going on in the moment, but I'm still recording. So, I'm okay. Pippi's okay. So, excuse my absence, but I'll see you folks real soon in the next video. I have more surprises now that I can do picture-in-picture, and that's what I'm working on. I want to work out the kinks and the bugs, make sure I can master it, so I can give you better content using picture-in-picture, and give you better lessons that way. So now I can probably go on. And then maybe over here, show you my fingers, and go. Alright, thanks everybody. Click subscribe, and I'll see you folks in the next video. Alright, bye everybody.